Hi everyone, welcome to Crafted by Norma again. This is the next part in our bird song junk journal. So last time we've put the backing papers on, and this time we're going to be talking about how to put in pockets, tags, different places to keep all your bits and bobs. I can't think of the right name, if I'm honest, at this moment in time. Anyway, so the first one I've got on the first page is just a little booklet that opens out, and I've done mine with some papers that match right the way through, a little tiny tag here, and then a small little booklet to keep your journaling in. It closes with a magnet, as I've said, and then we've got a little area here that you can slot in as well. So quite easy and simple to do using the magnets. Now I use these little tiny magnets here that they're really strong. They come in various sizes. This big one here is a bit too thick for this type of journaling, but the smaller ones are at the ideal size. They're quite strong, and the way I'm going to do the little book is I've got a piece of card that's approximately, I think this one's about 8 inches by 3 3/4. Let's just check. So yeah, just over 8 inches, and where are we? 3 1/4. I've gone and used the paper corner trimmer on the corners, so they're all rounded, which I particularly like. And to put the magnets in, it's quite simple. The technique I use, there must be different ways of doing this, but the easiest way that I've found for putting the magnets in is using some red tape. So we're going to want 2 pieces of red tape. Oh, come on, scissors. That's it. There we go. And our 2 magnets. I can just get hold of them. Ooh. So there's our 2 magnets. We're going to take the first piece of red tape and stick it onto the magnet, and then I suggest that you put it into the centre of the area. You don't want it too near the edge, so when that flips over you've got a chance of it ripping. I would rather it be in the middle, it's much more secure. You then get your red tape and you put the sticky side up and hold it over your magnet. Get your second magnet, I can't get hold of it, it's teeny tiny, and drop it on, and you can see there that it attaches itself to the magnet underneath. And because we've got the sticky side up, all we're going to do is just close that off, press down, and hey ho, like magic, you've got the magnet on the opposite side at the right place, and that will then hold it. So that's how we've gone and made that little notebook there with the magnet. So you can feel the magnet underneath and it just latches and closes. So that's that little booklet. And when I put it into the book, I've just gone around the corners along there and glued underneath. So I've got an area, as I say, that you can just slot into for your extra little tag. On this side, I've gone and made well, I used to do catering, so it was a napkin holder. We used to have all sorts of napkin folds, and what we used to do was do this particular one. We would put our cutlery in here, and in this section here we would put the name tag. So say for a wedding it would be Mr. Jones, his cutlery, and tart them up. So this one's made out of paper, so it's coffee stain paper. You can do it in coffee stain paper. On this one I've gone and used the maths paper with the little squares in, but again quite easy to do. You just get your A4 piece of card. Let's try and make some room here. Your A4 piece of coffee stain paper. You're going to fold it in a third that way, turn it round and fold a third in that way. Open it out. You're going to want to bring this fold along the crease line there, like so. Fold it, move it down so it goes across that way. And then you want to do exactly the same with this one. You want to bring this one into there like so and fold it down, and that goes across like so. And if you want it, you can either have it going that way, or if you want your book facing that way, it's entirely up to you. And then what you will do is bring this piece up, and depending on how big you want it against the book, so I'm going to bring it up there and get my bone folder just to go over the crease like that. Now my edges here aren't too good, they're a bit overlap, so I'm just going to trim those down to make them all neat with my paper trimmer, because I like to have my little neat edges. Fold it up, and then to make another little ledge here, I'm just going to fold that across there, meeting with that fold edge that's there, and fold up. So what you can do now is you can either sew round it or you can glue it. On this one I'm going to just glue. So we just get our glue and we'll run a little line of, put my end out, a little line of glue along that edge there to glue it down. And again the same along this edge here, gluing these down so that folds down there. I'm just running a little bit of glue along there and folding that back up. And then while they're gluing, I can use pegs or clips, whatever you've got, just to hold those in place while the glue sets. Like so. And there you have your little folder, your napkin fold. It's various ways. I'm sure you've got hundreds of ways of thinking how you can do a pocket like that, but that one's just my cutlery one that I do for place settings. And on the book, all I've gone and done then is go around it with some distress inks, and I've used a stencil that I had with some turquoise, which matches on the little book on the opposite page. I do like to try and get the pages to match. Then on the opposite side, we've got a handmade pocket. So you've got a little area there for bits and pieces to go inside the pocket. And then on this one, I've also left it open. I've just gone and glued around the edges there when I've put it into the book. So you've got a little back pocket there. That's quite easy to make. As you see on this piece, I've just put that there really for interest. Just a strip of black card and some paper, old paper, I think that's Spanish to be honest, and some music score. But going back to the little pocket, it's a piece of card which is, if I remember rightly, I've got down here is 8 1/4 long. Yeah, just over 8 1/4 by 3 inches. And then I folded it over like so with about 1/2 inch. Is that about 1/2 inch? Let's see. 3/4 inch fold. Brought that over, scored it, and then again I've taken off the corner with the corner punch. And I would then get my circle punch, and again I do this by eye, sorry if my head got in the way. Click that down there, run some glue along the edge, and a little bit down the bottom there. Fold it over, and you have got then a little envelope little envelope pocket. And again, all I've gone and done is use some of the spare paper that I had left over when I cut the papers out. And I've also put this little tiny card, which is actually made from a playing card. Made these the other night. It's just an ordinary playing card which I've covered in paper and stenciled on. And I've just cut that down there, and again that's going to be another little holder, a little pocket area there. So that's that one. Now this one's just slightly different. This is your centre belly flap, but I've done it so you can move it up and down. You can twist it to either side, just gives it a little bit of difference. So again, these are quite easy to make, just comes in a couple of parts. I cut out, and I don't know where I've got a feeling it's tattered lace. I've got a set of 3. I've cut that one out. You've got your strip that goes down the centre of your page. I've got 2 little pieces of offcut which I've glued together, and then the back piece. So I'm going to show you on this one where this one is, that one's in portrait style. I'm going to do this one more landscape, just to show you the difference. So all I've gone and done on this one is, with this thick card, this double card, it's just going to give it a bit of space so it's easy for the papers to go up and down. So we just glue a little bit onto there, and we're going to latch it in just there. Then we're going to get this next piece, which is size-wise, I've just measured it so it fits in between the edge of the die cut that I've done. And again, we're just going to put a little bit of glue there and there, like so. Put it across there and peg it down. Now again, I just clip these into place while the glue sets. Now the glue that I use is quite a quick setting glue. Just trying to see if I've got another peg, and that just pegs down like that. And then you've got your strip that goes all the way through. So all we do is we just put that, slide it underneath like so, and then that can slide up and down. And then we get your page and you will just glue it there and there, so it's quite secure. And then your die cut label can go up. You can use all sorts, you could use circles, squares, photos or whatever. So I quite like that form of belly strip. Okay, and again I've got an area there where I've gone and cut along the edge and just slid in a card. You could put, if you wanted to, you could put something like a smaller down version of that to go in and out and pull out. It's entirely up to you. But you don't want to have your journal too full, of all your bits and bobs, because we haven't even started putting any of the ephemera in yet. The next one is just quite a simple, because it's the 3-page one, I like to do it so it joins. So we've just got a bottom strip that I've cut out to go there, which is approximately 2 inches by 5 inches wide. I've done 2 of those, one for that side and one for that side. And then I've just done a larger belly strip to sort of come down there, and that size is, if I remember rightly, I think it's about 6 inches. 6.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Again, I've gone and used the corner strip to strip those down. So they're quite easy, quite simple for you to do. And again, we've got the hidden pockets either side. Then we move along to the triangles. And again, these are, I've done a double one, so that slots in there, and you've got a slot in there. And that's quite simple. It's just a cut down like that and like that for you to slide in. That's quite the wrong way, really. That's it, that way, to fit your page. And again, it just slots in. So quite straightforward, those ones. Then we've got this type of pocket, which again is quite simple to do. We've just got 2 pieces of card, and they're 4 by 3. Just double check. Yeah, 4 inches by 3 inches. Yeah. And what I've gone and done there is I've measured roughly halfway. I've got my trusty circle cut and just cut out 2 circles, just roughly. I sort of eyeball mine. Oops. Like so. Perhaps a bit that way. Okay. Catch those, put those in the bin. And all I'm going to do with those is just glue them along there. Do it that way so you can't see my writing. Along there. So you just come down like so. And glue those down. And then I've just added some paper to the bottom one there. And again, just get my my trusty corner and chop off the corners. Like so. And there we've got a card that slots in, and you can obviously decorate it to how you want. So you've got a pocket there and a pocket there. And if you wanted, you could always do a pocket on either side, which I've not done. Just checking. No, I haven't. And then the final one I've done on the final back page is just 2 strips of card. Again, you've got one that can take a pocket, oops, in that direction, and then a second one that's in there. And all I've done again is just use the paper to trim off the edge there, and the same with the bigger one. I've decorated the papers, trimmed the corners as I've done before. So hopefully it's given you some ideas of how to put your tucks and pockets and little notebooks into your book. Happy crafting!